This might be the most important message you hear this year, maybe even in your life, because what I'm about to tell you is the reason most people stay stuck. It's the reason so many dreams never leave the paper they were written on. It's the reason so many lives never become what they could have been. When most people talk about success, they talk about what you have to gain. They talk about building habits, making money, developing skills, finding opportunities, creating discipline, chasing dreams. And yes, those things matter. But they are not the first step. The first step isn't about gaining. It's about losing. And this is where most people fail. Not because they aren't capable, but because they aren't willing to let go. Letting go is hard. It feels like death. It feels like cutting off parts of yourself. It feels like stepping into the unknown with no guarantees. And that is exactly why most people never do it. But here's the truth. The person you are right now, with all the habits, all the fears, all the relationships, all the excuses, all the old identities you've been dragging behind you, that version of you cannot take you where you want to go. You are carrying too much weight. You are holding on to things that don't belong in your future. Think about it. You are holding on to comfort. You're clinging to the routines and habits that make you feel safe, but quietly keep you stuck in the same place year after year. You are holding on to excuses, those little lies that convince you now isn't the right time, or you just can't. You are holding on to people who drain you, distract you, or keep you small. You are holding on to fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of trying and falling flat on your face. You are holding on to an old version of yourself, the one who has settled for less, the one who keeps replaying the same story about who they are and what they're capable of. You are holding on to the need for approval, still living for what other people think of you, still shrinking so you don't upset them. And maybe you are holding on to the need to control everything, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect sign before you even take the first step. You can't hold on to all of that and expect to rise. You can't walk into a new chapter of your life while dragging all this dead weight behind you. It will slow you down. It will break you. It will keep you living a life that you know deep down is too small for you. This is why most people never change. Because change isn't just uncomfortable, it's violent. You have to break up with your old patterns. You have to break up with the people who don't belong in your next chapter. You have to break up with the version of you that has been keeping you small. And yes, this will hurt. But the pain of letting go is so much smaller than the pain of staying stuck. Staying stuck eats you alive slowly. It turns into regret. It turns into bitterness. It turns into you waking up one day realizing you never gave yourself a chance to see what you could have been. But if you're watching this, I believe you're not here to stay the same. I believe you're ready to face the truth, ready to lose what needs to be lost, so you can finally gain what you've been dreaming about. What I'm about to share with you are 7 things you must lose if you want to win big. These are not random tips. These are not optional. These are the price of the life you say you want. And if you're brave enough to let them go, you won't just change your circumstances. You will change yourself. So take a deep breath, get honest with yourself. And let's talk about the first thing you have to lose. Stage 1. Lose your comfort zone. Comfort is addictive. It feels so good that we forget it's quietly killing us. Your comfort zone is warm, familiar, and safe, but it's also a prison with invisible walls. Every time you choose comfort, you stay inside those walls. And the longer you stay, the smaller your world becomes. Think about it. The most meaningful moments of your life probably didn't come from being comfortable. They came from moments when you were nervous, when you took a risk, when you had no idea how things would turn out, but you went for it anyway. Growth never happens on the couch. It happens in the fire. When you stay in your comfort zone, You rob yourself of the chance to see what you're really capable of. You trade your future for a little bit of temporary ease right now. And the crazy thing? The comfort you cling to eventually turns into pain. Comfort becomes regret. It becomes that quiet whisper in the back of your mind that says, I could have been more, but I stayed safe. The truth is, discomfort is not your enemy. It is your invitation. Discomfort is where transformation happens. When you wake up earlier than you want to. When you say yes to the opportunity that scares you. When you sit with the discipline of building something brick by brick, even when nobody is watching. Discomfort shapes you into the person you need to become. If you want to win big, you have to train yourself to step into discomfort on purpose. Start small. Take the cold shower. Speak up when you'd rather stay quiet. Try the thing you've been putting off for months. Each time you do, you're proving to yourself that you are stronger than your fears. And that strength is what will carry you to the life you actually want. Stage 2. Lose your excuses. Excuses are sneaky. They sound reasonable. They sound logical. They sound like the truth. I don't have time. I don't have the money. I'm not ready yet. It's just not the right moment. And on the surface, these sound like valid reasons. But if you look closer, they are not reasons. They are shields. They are the walls you hide behind to avoid doing the work. Here's the hard truth. Excuses keep you stuck in the exact life you say you want to escape. They give you temporary relief because you get to say, it's not my fault. But they cost you your future. Because if everything is someone else's fault, you never take action. You wait for the perfect time, and the perfect time never comes. The people who win big are not the ones with the perfect circumstances. They are the ones who stopped giving themselves a way out. They looked at the obstacles in front of them and said, okay, so what? How can I make this work anyway? They stopped negotiating with their dream. They stopped waiting for motivation. They stopped waiting for someone to save them. And this is where it gets uncomfortable. Because letting go of excuses means taking full ownership of your life. It means admitting that you are where you are because of the choices you've made. Not luck, not fate, not the government. You. And that can feel heavy at first. But it's also the most empowering thing you can ever do. Because if you got yourself here, you can get yourself somewhere better. Start paying attention to the words that come out of your mouth. Every time you hear yourself say, I can't, pause and ask yourself, is this really true? Or am I just afraid? Am I just tired? Am I just hiding? Most of the time, you'll realize you can do a lot more than you thought. When you lose your excuses, you gain clarity, you gain freedom, you gain momentum. And that's when things start to shift in your life, because you are no longer fighting against yourself. Stage 3. Lose toxic relationships. This is one of the most painful parts of growth, because it's not just about habits or mindset anymore. It's about people. Some of the very people you love the most might be the ones holding you back. And that's a hard truth to face. Here's what happens when you start to grow. You change. Your standards rise. Your vision gets clearer. Your hunger gets stronger. And not everyone is going to like that. Some people will feel threatened by it. Some will feel left behind. And instead of cheering for you, they'll try to pull you back to the version of you that made them comfortable. It won't always be obvious. Sometimes it looks like little comments. You've changed. You think you're better than us now. You're so obsessed with this new thing. Sometimes it looks like subtle sabotage, inviting you to skip the gym, tempting you to break your discipline, distracting you from the work you know you need to do. And sometimes it's just quiet. They stop supporting you, they stop showing up, they disappear when you need them most. And it hurts. It hurts because these are people you thought would be there forever. But growth is a filter. It reveals who is really for you and who only liked you when you stayed small. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to fight with them. You don't have to explain yourself over and over, hoping they'll understand. But you do have to protect your energy. You have to decide who gets access to you, because not everyone should. Losing toxic relationships doesn't always mean cutting people off completely. Sometimes it just means creating space, setting boundaries, loving them from a distance, giving yourself permission to outgrow them without guilt. And yes, there might be a season where you walk alone. That season will feel lonely at first, but it will also be the season where you find your strength. The right people will come, the ones who match your vision, the ones who don't resent your growth but fuel it. But you'll never meet them if your life is too crowded with people who drain you. Your circle matters. If you want to win big, you need people who challenge you, encourage you, and remind you who you are when you forget. Protect your space like your future depends on it. Because it does. Stage 4. Lose the fear of failure. Fear of failure is like a chain around your neck. It's heavy. It keeps you in place. And the worst part is, most of the time, the chain isn't even real. It's in your mind. You picture what could go wrong so vividly that you never even give yourself the chance to see what could go right. Failure has been painted as this terrible, shameful thing. We were taught from a young age to avoid it at all costs. Get the wrong answer? You feel embarrassed. Miss the shot? You feel humiliated. Take a risk and fall flat? You feel judged. Somewhere along the way, we started to believe that failing means we are failures. But that's not true. Failing means you are trying. It means you are alive. It means you are in the arena while most people are just sitting in the stands watching. Here's the truth no one tells you. The people you look up to, the ones who are winning right now, they've failed more times than you have even tried. They've launched things that flopped. They've embarrassed themselves in public. They've been rejected, laughed at, ignored. And they kept going anyway. That's why they are where they are now. Fear of failure is really fear of pain, fear of looking stupid, fear of being judged, fear of wasting time. But what if failing is the very thing that's meant to shape you into the person who can handle the win when it finally comes? What if every failure is a stepping stone that gets you closer to where you're supposed to be? Think of failure as feedback. It's just information. It's the world saying, not this way, try again. Every time you fail, you learn something you could not have learned any other way. That knowledge is priceless. It makes you sharper, stronger, wiser. So stop letting fear keep you frozen. Do the thing you're scared to do. Launch the business. Post the video. Apply for the job. Ask for the opportunity. Not because you're guaranteed to win, but because even if you fail, you'll come out better than before. The real tragedy is not falling. It's never stepping onto the path in the first place. If you can lose the fear of failure, you become unstoppable. Because suddenly, there's nothing left to be afraid of. Every move you make becomes progress, and that's when life starts to open up in ways you never imagined. Stage 5. Lose the old version of you. This is the hardest stage, because it's not just about losing habits or people anymore. It's about losing yourself, or at least the version of you that can't come with you to the next level. And that's terrifying. Because even if you don't like where you are right now, at least it's familiar. At least it's safe. But you can't step into a new life while clinging to an old identity. You can't become the person you want to be while still being loyal to who you used to be. You can't keep playing the same role you've always played and expect a different ending. Sometimes you have to mourn the old you, the one who stayed quiet to keep everyone else comfortable, the one who kept sabotaging their own success, the one who kept shrinking to fit into places they had already outgrown, the one who carried guilt, shame, and regret like a backpack full of bricks. You have to be willing to set that version of you down and walk away. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. You'll catch yourself slipping back into old patterns. You'll feel the pull of your past identity trying to drag you back. But every time you choose differently, every time you take a step as the future version of yourself, you weaken the grip of the old you. And here's the beautiful thing. The old you will fight to stay alive, but every time you refuse to go back, a new version of you starts to rise. Stronger, wiser, clearer, more confident, more powerful. This is who you were always meant to be. If you want to win big, you have to let the old you die so the real you can live. Stop saying, "That's just who I am." You're not fixed. You're not stuck. You are allowed to outgrow your past and become someone new. Imagine standing a year from now, looking back, realizing that you didn't just change your life, you changed yourself. That's the real win. And it all starts the moment you decide to lose the version of you that's been keeping you small. Stage 6. Lose the need for approval. This might be the most liberating stage of all, because deep down, so many of us live our lives for other people's opinions. We shape our choices around what will keep everyone happy. We hide parts of ourselves so we don't get judged. We stay small because we are terrified of being misunderstood, criticized, or rejected. But here's the truth. If you are waiting for everyone to approve of you before you chase your dream, you will wait forever. People will always have something to say. Some will cheer for you. Some will doubt you. Some will try to talk you out of what you know in your gut you were born to do. The need for approval is heavy, heavier than you realize. It's like carrying 100 invisible voices on your back everywhere you go. And if you keep carrying them, you will bend under their weight and eventually break. Letting go of that need doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop letting their opinions decide your future. It means you trust your own voice more than the noise around you. It means you get brave enough to disappoint a few people in order to stay true to yourself. When you lose the need for approval, you finally get free. You start living for something deeper than applause. You start creating, building, speaking, moving in a way that feels authentic. You stop playing to the crowd and start playing for the life you actually want. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing approval, you start attracting the right kind of people, the ones who respect you for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. Winning big requires bold moves, and you can't make bold moves if you are terrified of who might not like them. Lose the need for approval, and you'll find the courage to do what most people never will. Stage 7. Lose the need for control. This one is tough because it feels like the opposite of everything we're taught. We're told to have a plan, to be in control, to have everything figured out. And yes, preparation matters. But the need to control every outcome will exhaust you and stop you from taking action. You can't predict everything. You can't plan every step. You can't wait until you are 100% sure before you move, because that day will never come. The truth is, life will throw curveballs. People will surprise you. Opportunities will show up when you least expect them, and they won't look like what you had in mind. If you are too focused on controlling everything, you'll miss them. The need for control is rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of pain, fear of uncertainty. But uncertainty is where all the magic is. It's where growth happens. It's where you discover strengths you never knew you had. Letting go of control doesn't mean living recklessly. It means trusting yourself enough to take the next step, even when you can't see the entire staircase. It means being willing to fail, adjust, and try again. It means believing that even if things don't go according to plan, you will still find a way forward. When you lose the need for control, you gain freedom. You start living with courage instead of fear. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start creating progress with what you have. And that momentum is what will carry you farther than any perfect plan ever could. The truth is, you are never going to control everything, but you can control your effort. You can control your choices. You can control how you respond to whatever life throws your way. And that's all you really need. You've just heard the 7 things you must lose before you win big. Comfort, excuses, toxic relationships, fear of failure, the old version of you, the need for approval, the need for control. It's not easy. In fact, it might be the hardest thing you ever do, because letting go feels like tearing away pieces of yourself. It feels like stepping into the dark without knowing what's waiting for you. But that's the point. This is how transformation works. Every time you let one of these go, you get lighter, stronger, clearer. You start moving with more purpose. You start attracting better opportunities, better people, better energy. And slowly, you begin to realize that you were never stuck. You were just carrying too much. This is the price of winning. You can't take the easy road and expect a legendary destination. You have to be willing to pay in full. And the beautiful part? Everything you lose will be replaced by something far greater, deeper confidence, unstoppable courage, the right tribe, and a life that actually feels like yours. So ask yourself right now, which of these 7 do you need to let go of first? Which one has been holding you back the longest? Because the moment you choose to let it go is the moment your real life begins. If you felt this, share it with someone who needs this reminder today. And if you're ready for more conversations like this, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe, because this is just the beginning of the journey.